So as I mentioned, Python is a programming language, and we can use the Python language to write code which enables us to communicate to a computer. Now we write lines of code in files, and the code contained in these files are often referred to as scripts or programs, and it's these programs which the computer will interpret and then action accordingly, with the actions depending on what your code is telling it to do. So in order to demonstrate what I mean, let's produce a very basic program right from the start. To illustrate the core concept, I'm simply going to open up a blank Notepad. Now Notepad is a basic text editing program that ships with Windows, and it allows us to create documents of various formats. Now if you're using a Mac, you're able to use the program TextEdit, and this will do the same thing. Now inside this Notepad, we're going to write a couple of lines of Python code. So we'll first type name equals, and then we'll put input. We'll then open up a set of parentheses, and then inside double quotes, we'll type what is your name? And then we'll put a colon and a space to separate the question from the answer that the user will provide. On the second line, we'll type print, and then open up a set of parentheses. Inside double quotes, we'll start by typing hello, followed by a space. We'll then plus name, and then we'll plus an exclamation mark in double quotes. Now here, depending on what the user will input, will depend on what the computer will interpret and print to the screen. So we've now written a very small Python script. Don't worry about the specific code I've written here. We'll be covering everything in detail throughout the course. The thing to acknowledge here is that we've created a simple text file with some Python code in it. We will now save this file in a folder, and we'll need to make note of where we save the file in order to run the program shortly. So we'll save this file as hello.py, and it's the .py which indicates that the file is a Python file, in the same way that a .xlsx file indicates we're working with an Excel file, and a .pdf file indicates we're working with a PDF document. Now in order to get the computer to read and interpret the file and the respective code inside, we need to run the program. So let's do this now. As I'm using a Windows machine, I'm going to go into my command prompt and navigate to the folder location where I stored the program file. Now there is a separate video which walks through some common command line shortcuts to help you navigate the directory, so don't worry about this for now. Just note that I'm trying to navigate to the location where we saved the file. I can then type py to activate the Python interpreter, and then I can follow this with the file name, which we called hello.py. When we press return, the computer reads the file's contents and has firstly realized that user input was requested. So acting as the user of this program, I'm now going to type in my name. When I do this and press return, the program simply says hello to me, and the program ends. So not a very exciting program, but the concept of creating files which stores code and then running them so they're interpreted by the computer is the fundamental concept of a program. Now we have a lot to cover in this course, and in order to ensure you're getting the most out of the material, we need to get you set up so that you can work alongside me throughout the course. I believe it's only when we interact and type the language ourselves that we really start to understand Python. So in the next section of the course, I'll be showing you how to install Python as well as a development environment in which we'll type our code. We will also look at Jupyter Notebooks, which is an open source web application and allows us to create and share documents containing live code that we type. We can observe visualizations using plotting libraries, as well as the ability to write narrative text, which is great for educational purposes. You can also write notes next to your code so that when you revisit it at a later point, it's easier to understand and follow. So getting acquainted with Jupyter Notebooks is a great investment of your time. Throughout the course, we will practice the concepts learnt and reinforce our knowledge by creating various programs, so lots to look forward to.